Hello, everyone. It's your girl Danny, and today I'm going to be talking to you all about how you can manifest your desired reality based on your thoughts, based on you speaking things into existence. And I'm going to also tell you all how to make sure that things go your way no matter what you're going through. No matter what your circumstances are, I'm going to be sharing with you some things that I've learned through Neville teachings and implementing these things in my own life, teaching them to my group members, to my clients. For the last 5 years, I have manifested a lot of beautiful things just strictly off of practicing the law of assumption. There are other esoterical principles that govern the universe that we won't talk about tonight, but the law of assumption by far is one of the best ones. And it's the one that I teach the most, the number one law that I teach the most of the universe, of spiritual, esoterical, you know, topics. Now, before we get started in this topic, I want to let you know you can look down in the description box down below. I do have a school community that I just started. It is free to join for now, but we are starting March. And so, those of you who join for free, you will be coming into a community that I will be building courses, classes, workshops around metaphysical principles that are going to help you to manifest your desired reality, specifically with manifesting more money, abundance, self concept, along with learning AI tools and how to create multiple sources of income online. So, we're combining spiritual and metaphysical topics and tools and techniques with learning in this day and age, the world that we're living in, with AI tools and creating more opportunities for you to have more money, more abundance, more luxury in your life. So, right now, if you join, the link down below, it's a school community, and you're going to be pleasantly surprised when you join to see all the courses that I'm going to be releasing over the next 3 weeks. So we officially launched the school community March 1st, which is now. Sometime tomorrow around noon, you'll start to see me posting things in there for you all to be able to start really diving into a exclusive community of like-minded people. Okay, outside of YouTube, we can just hone in on the people who are just like us. We're talking the same language. We're on the same accord. We're on the same frequency, right? Okay, so first and foremost, we have to tell a new story about our lives whenever we're looking to get anything we desire to have based on just GP, just based on, for the sake of you understanding that your thoughts on the old story, the old version of you. Make sure y'all can see me. Y'all see my Whitney shirt? Let me not let my ADHD get me out of alignment, but this is my Whitney shirt. Five Below. I love Five Below. They always have the best print shirts. Anything that says Whitney on it, I'm going to always snatch it up. So, when it comes to telling the old story in your life, you're telling a story based on your circumstances that you're experiencing in your 3D. But did you know that every time you tell that old story about, what didn't happen for you, or your daddy didn't do enough for you, or your mom did this to you, or your sister and you don't have the best relationship, or somebody at your job did you dirty, whatever those stories that are swirling around in your head, you're telling an old story, but you're doing it in the present moment, which is reactivating the focus. And I don't know about you all, but your focus, I don't know if you all know this. If you become more aware of what's going on in your world, like literally take your awareness off of the past and put it in the present moment, you will start to see that in the present moment, you actually have more power, because your present moment, you can actually speak things into existence with more authority because you don't have the past thoughts and the past frequency and all the BS that happened to you in the past clouding your present moment. So here's what I would ask for you all to do, is to start to check in with yourself at least 3 times out of the day. Now, in my membership, all of my beautiful Soul Aligned members, I've been literally telling you all to do this for like 3 years, since I started the membership 3 years ago. In the morning time when you wake up, your brain is in a very hazy, hypnotic state. It's very suggestible as soon as you wake up. Instead of touching your phone or reaching for your phone, as soon as you open your eyes, say your affirmations, give gratitude, or visualize. And I know in the beginning it's going to seem like, well, Danny, how am I going to do all of this? Because I can't even remember, when I wake up to do it. Set an alarm in your phone, set the alarm for the time you need to get up. And you know how it has a note next to the alarm, like it'll give you like a little bracket that you can put the note. Put affirm. Put in your alarm notes, visualize gratitude, 30 seconds of gratitude. Because here's the thing, I did say don't touch your phone, but if you have to touch your phone for anything, just touch it to look at the time. I know it's hard for us to not touch our phones. But what I'm saying is don't immediately go to your phone and start scrolling. As soon as you open your eyes, you want to email. As soon as you open your eyes, you on TikTok. No, no, no. That's like low vibrational. Your phone cannot be your dopamine hit. Your thoughts, your energy, your focus is your dopamine hit. And as soon as you open your eyes, if you know now that your power lies in that hazy state, even if you touch your phone or your alarm goes off, that note's going to come up and it's going to remind you to affirm. If you have a job and you have a lunch break, put your lunch break time and put in that note in your phone when you have your alarm, affirm. And when I say affirm, I mean like affirmations. I mean in your mind, visualize, close your eyes for maybe 20 seconds and just see yourself having the thing you desire to have. Because telling that old story is what's keeping you locked in this loop of not having the thing you desire to have. So this is how we're going to make things go our way no matter what. We're going to stop telling that old story. And as soon as it could be anything as like something as simple as 20 hours ago, 5 hours ago. Hell, 2 minutes ago is an old story, right? Thank you all for being here. I appreciate y'all. It's late. I'm shocked that y'all are even in here with me. Shadow Goddess, thank you. Thank you to my beautiful Miss Cherry. Miss Cherry, are you a moderator? Hold on. Okay, you're a moderator now, Miss Cherry. Okay. So, Miss Cherry, if you post again, you'll see that you have a moderator next to you. There you go. Yeah, all you got to do is just, you can still relax. You don't have to do nothing crazy. People in my chat don't really be doing nothing crazy. But people that I trust, I just make the moderators just in case you do see something. You have the power to just block. Every now and again, somebody might act crazy in the chat. If you just so happen to see it, then you can block people or you can get them up out of here, because that does happen every now and again. We have some spam people sometimes. But I really do want you all to understand. And Grateful Grade 215, thank you for being here too. Sherry, we got some things. Sherry's one of my beautiful Soul Align group members, one of my OGs. She's been with me since the beginning when the group was called something else. I do believe in setting reminders for yourself throughout the day. So, like I said, the beginning of the day, when you first wake up, is the most crucial time of the day. The middle of the day, maybe around like between 1 and 3, check in with yourself. This is so easy because your phone's going to do the work for you. People say, oh, Coach Danny, I don't know how to remember that, or I'm not as disciplined as you. Discipline takes practice. And I was watching a young lady earlier today, and she reminded me that when you attach an emotion to the things that are important to you, you actually don't even need discipline. Hold on, my bun is a little crooked. You don't even need discipline, because discipline is something that you a lot of times have to make yourself do it, or you feel bad if you don't do it. When you have an emotional connection to something that matters to you, like a positive, I would say even a positive emotion, like you feel gratitude or you feel like called to do something. I know for those beautiful young ladies in my membership, I'm helping them create their own AI music. Like, how you all watch my channel for AI manifestation music? I'm helping them create their own channels and their own AI music. So now all the music that they love from me, they're learning how to create the lyrics, create the sound, so that they can make their own manifestation music and they can make it for other people. But what I'm saying is that, like, you have to have an emotional connection to something that you love to do that's gonna give you that momentum to do it. So if it really matters to you that you want to be able to get things to work out in your favor and you want to manifest the things you desire to have and not have to be like, oh, why am I not getting what I want? It's really a focus issue that most of you all have. Most of you all have a focus issue, right? And so when you're focusing on things that do not serve you, that's why you're getting more of it. And this is not something that you're doing wrong because you just like want to do it. It's literally a brain thing. It's just kind of how our brains work. And Shut Up Goddess, she said, I'd love to learn that. Go to the description box down below, and there are options for you to join my membership, or you can join the SKOOL community, or you can join my boot camp for March. And I teach that in my membership. I teach you all how to use AI tools for either personal use or for business. And the AI that I'm teaching people mostly is how to prompt for music, for your business, for digital products, along with the mindset and the manifestation coaching that I've been doing for the last 5 years. So, Shut Goddess, if you're interested and you'd like to learn, just go in the description box and there are options for you to choose. I have a free SKOOL community right now that I'm opening to people. But if you want to learn how to make manifestation music where you're able to use it for yourself personally, then you might want to join my membership. And the membership is between $30 and $50 to join, right? Thank you so much for even, being here. But back to what we were saying, and I want you all to understand me clearly. It is your job to focus on your own thoughts and your own words that you're saying in your head. Do you know Neville Goddard is so popular now when he was literally only saying the same thing over and over and over? There's literally only two or three things that he really taught, and he said it over and over and over. Your inner conversations, the the conversations you're having in your head about people, the conversations you're having in your head about yourself, your self concept, and how you feel about yourself, and the conversations that you're having in your head about another person are actually creating your reality. They're creating things that are going on in your reality because you're focusing on this. And remember, your inner world, your imagination, your inner dialect is emotionally connected to your subconscious mind. I just literally told you all. Hold on one second. I'm getting distracted because my ADHD mind is watching the Apollo. Showtime at the Apollo is on in the back, and Shanice is back here dancing up a damn storm. Let me turn it off. But your inner conversations are so important because we don't think that our inner conversations are manifesting. That's a part of that old story. The old story that you're telling about your life is an inner conversation. All right, so let's go into your self concept. Your self concept, and this is something that we have to be very clear about. You don't have to have a great self concept in the beginning to manifest things. You're manifesting things all day, every day. You're always creating your world. I'm here to help you all to get focused, to become more aware, to not just live 24 hours a day. And then when you get ready to go to bed, you don't know what you did the entire day. That's unacceptable. Can you literally go back and recall your day from the time you woke up all the way into the present moment? And Neville has this beautiful exercise that I think most people have to practice. It's called the mental diet, where you're able to rehearse from the present moment that you're in right now and go all the way back in your mind to the beginning of the day. As many details as you can remember. This is a mental practice of rehearsing in your mind how your day went, and then being able to go in your mind and rehearse in your mind how you would have wanted it to go. This is the beautiful, lovely technique that Neville said if he could teach anyone anything, it would be revision. And revision is super important because your imagination is creating your reality. So in your mind, let's just say somebody cut you off in traffic and you cussed them out and you didn't like the way that situation went. You can go back in your mind and rehearse the day and anything in your day that you did not like. In your imagination, you can recreate it as if it went the way you wanted it to go, and your subconscious mind would accept that as truth. Your subconscious mind does not know if you're telling a lie or the truth. So then the benefit in this is that you can go back in your imagination and recreate anything that has an emotional connection, because the emotional connection is going to impress. Now, people are not teaching you about the emotional connection with the law of assumption because for whatever reason, people just don't want you to have any emotions connected. But here I am as a 40-something-year-old woman who has had a lot of life experience, and emotions are actually your superpower. Go back and look at my live that I did yesterday about how to use your emotions to manifest. It's literally like the live that I did just yesterday. When you go into your imagination and recreate things, you are taking the power out of the negative side of it and you're putting the power back into your imagination, because your imagination is creating your reality. And imagination is not just visuals, it's the way you speak about things internally. It's your inner conversations. Your imagination is your inner conversations, it's your emotions, and it's also your visualization. So you can use any one of those varying things, and that's creating your imagination. Do you know how somebody could say something to you? Like imagine a red, crispy, ripe apple that you just got out of the refrigerator. Immediately, you're going to imagine it in your hand. You're going to feel the cold in your hand, and you're going to see it shiny, and you're going to see the little stem coming out of it. So, you see what I just did? I just literally gave you a visual, and I also gave you something to feel. And in your mind, you could just say, oh my goodness, I love this apple. This apple is so amazing. Look how beautiful this apple is. So, that would be your inner conversation about it. We do this all the time. You literally, if I tell you to bite into and close your eyes, if you're not driving, don't close your eyes. But if you're able to close your eyes and visualize a lemon that's cut in half, you pick up the lemon, you squeeze it into your mouth, and you suckle on the lemon, and you feel the juice in your mouth and swallow the juice of the lemon. If you can do that visually, your mouth is going to start to water because you just visually in your mind saw something, you internalized it. You most likely have had a connection with a lemon. And so if you can start your mouth to water from imagining a lemon and the lemon is not in your hand, then what is that telling you? Your imagination is creating a physical reaction to something that you're imagining. And we can take this a step further. If you were to imagine a sexual act, who knows what physical reaction you're going to start to have if you start to imagine things in your head about even sexual acts, because sexual acts, believe it or not, have a heightened emotion. That's why if you close your eyes and imagine a sexual act, you most likely will start to physically react to that. So anything that has a strong emotional connection to you will penetrate your subconscious mind a lot faster, right? What did you say, Shut a Goddess? Were you saying I was just thinking that? What were you referencing? You were just thinking that because I'm not paying attention to the chat. Let me see what y'all are saying in the chat. And I'm not gonna keep y'all long. I have a time frame because I gotta get up for my members. March 1st is we're starting our 7-day challenge for manifesting money. And then March 7th, we're going to do our 7-day workshop for all of my content creators that are looking to do AI music, AI channels, talking and singing avatars, consistent characters. Right. Yes, that's what I thought you were saying, Miss Shetta Goddess. You said what you last said about sexual acts and yeah. So if you can imagine something and have a physical reaction, then that tells you that emotional connection to things that you are thinking about, they have an impression. And the deeper the impression, the quicker the manifestation, will come to you, or the sooner you'll start to see things happen in your life. So that's why I was telling you all in the beginning to tell a new story about your life, because a lot of times our past situations have an emotional connection to us. That's why we keep reiterating. That's why we keep going. We just want to like connect to that old story. But the new story that you tell yourself should be exactly what you want and only what you want, refuting anything else that goes against that. It does not matter that you have a situation going on in front of you. We don't want you to ignore your 3D. You can if you want to. You know, some people say, oh, ignore your 3D reality. Some people say you don't have to. I say do what you feel is best. I'm more on the Lulu side. I really just be like in my 3D, like, nope, that's not happening. Nope. And then there's sometimes I'm like, you know what? Like my health situation that I had many years ago with vertigo, I could not ignore that. So I had to accept it and I had to surrender. So you have to be able to balance and discern when it's time to be delulu about something and when it's time to say, okay, I accept my circumstances, but this is not my final state. Even though I accept what's going on around me, I'm going to surrender to what's going on. I'm still going to keep my mind focused on the wish fulfilled and the end result. And I'm just sharing with you all ways to get what you want no matter what's going on. You're going to have to start reminding yourself throughout the day what's going on in your brain. You have over 60,000 thoughts a day. You can't get all of them. And I don't want you to. I just want you to check in with the state of what state are you in? Are you in a state of sadness when you wake up in the morning, midday, and then I did not talk about the end of the day, which is really prime time. When you first wake up is one of the most important times to really set your day. Well, going to bed is when you are able to revise the day, when you're able to go in your imagination and just say, okay, that happened today. I didn't like that. Let's revise that and make it the way that I wanted it to. And as you're falling asleep in a drowsy state, you can, in your mind, either visualize, and it takes literally like a snapshot. Y'all don't have to do these 20-minute visualizations and guided meditations unless you want to. As you're falling asleep, you could literally in your mind say, it is mine, and just see a snapshot of whatever it is, the end result, whether it's marriage, whether it's a paycheck or a payout, a car, your dream body, nails, hair, whatever it is, or a trip or something like that, a ticket to the Bahamas, a ticket to Paris. It could be anything you desire to have. And it's as you're falling asleep and you know you're getting drowsy, just in your mind, see it as a snapshot. Or in your mind, hear your mother's voice or hear your best friend's voice congratulating you or saying something that makes you feel like as if you already have it. Or you can associate a scent with it. You know, right now, my father passed away. It's coming up on like 2.5 months, and there's a certain scent that my sister and we remember our dad for. It's a certain cologne he used to wear, and that cologne has been showing up for me a lot more because my focus has been on my dad and honoring his legacy and remembering things about him, and that scent has a strong emotional connection to me. So, do you not know that I just told you? Emotional connections to things that you're focused on, they will show up. His cologne has shown up in the past two. The cologne never showed up in my life ever. From the fact that I know that he wears it and I know that it's one of his signature scents. When he died, and I had an emotional connection to the scent because me and my sister were talking about it, I was just like, oh yeah, we remember that scent. I've seen the bottle of cologne in at least 4 places I've gone to shop: Ulta, Sephora, and like Macy's that I went, and I was not looking for it. That's number one. And they don't carry this particular scent everywhere. Number two people. Randomly, I smelt it in the air and I was like, who has on that scent? And each person, I smelt them, and it was random to them. But to me, I knew that it's an emotional connection I have to that scent. And here's what you guys don't really realize: whenever you have an emotional connection to anything that you're focusing on, the universe will conspire to put you in serendipitous situations, and you will call it coincidence. But what the Most High, your infinite intelligence, is doing is connecting you to the thing that matters to you the most. And so you will go to a random place and you're like, why am I even here? And it'll put you right where you need to be to meet the right people, to be in the right vicinity for you to see something or to learn something, or to just be able to smell the scent that you keep focusing on that has a emotional connection to your father. So, when we talk about the law of assumption, if you assume that good things only happen to you, if you assume that things only work out in your favor, then you will be divinely guided to the thing that you focus on with emotion connection to it the most. Now, some of y'all may be asking, well, what about the negative stuff? Here's what I've learned. Your negative emotions do not have more power than your positive connections to things. And here's why: it's because it takes a lot of energy to be negative. It takes a lot of energy to, like, I gotta be negative, negative. But guess what? As soon as you decide to focus on something that brings you joy, that makes you happy, it's like it's 10 times more powerful because it's connected to source. Source is only here to help you to thrive, to learn, and to be supported. The learning lessons for you are not to be taken as negative things. It's literally, as a human, it's what you sign up for. So any negative things that you have going on, these are lessons. These are for you to, like, kind of like tweak whatever you need to tweak. And you have the power to do that by the power of your awareness and the power of your focus. And use your negative emotions if you have to. If you're frustrated, persist through those tears. Use any heightened emotion that you have in any capacity. That could be an orgasm, that could be frustration, it could be anger, it can be sadness, it can be sorry, it could be any heightened emotion that you have. Immediately know, and I'm telling you this from experience, that those heightened emotions connected to things that you're focusing on, you're going to see more of it. And this is not woo woo. This is not a speculation. This is a scientific fact. They've done the studies, they've done the research. They've literally hooked people up to the wires, and whenever they're thinking about something that is highly emotional, the brain does something different than when they're thinking about something that doesn't really matter to them. Right? Grateful Gray 215. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you all for being here. Thank you for those of you who are still with me. It's coming up on about 30 minutes, so I'm not going to keep you all here. But for those of you who are here, and I see there's about 15 people in the room, if you're watching me from Danny the Alchemist, I want you all to understand that my channel was originally started with subliminals, meditations, and me being on camera like this. And then about a year ago, I took a hiatus because for whatever reason, the niche was doing something weird with, like, there was a bunch of like scamming and clickbaiting going on. I was like, okay, well, let me just let the niche calm down. I don't know, like, there was a lot of infiltrating, and the real teachers like me and a lot of other beautiful coaches and content creators that were being authentic, we were kind of being pushed out of the algorithm. So then I just said, okay, well, let me just focus on my membership and my other channel, which is the Fly Girl Mindset. So I have multiple channels, but this is my main baby. Like, this is the channel that I love. And so if you are here with me, whether you're new or whether you're one of my OGs, I promise you, moving forward, you will see me more often on camera now that the niche has recalibrated. And I was manifesting for those of us who are great content creators to, like, kind of be able to push through that noise in the niche that was going on really weird. And I know now that a lot of people are doing AI manifestation music, which is something that I'm really happy that people can enjoy. So on my channel, I will still give you all AI music. You'll still get subliminals, meditations, and I'll be on camera more often now too, like teaching like I'm doing. This is why I'm going live, just to kind of get myself back into the motion of being on camera. I prefer going live because I do a lot of editing in my back of the house, and I just, I prefer to go live. I get to talk to the people, I get to teach, I have my notes here. So it's not like I'm, just babbling. I have notes and things that I make sure that I'm on point with you all. All right, so then now let's go to, and I didn't really go into this, but your self concept is how you see yourself. So in any capacity of what you all are doing in your life, just make sure that you are seeing yourself the way you want to be blessed, or the way that you want your life to go. So if you're seeing yourself as a person who has more than enough and that things always work out for them, then that is your self-concept. You just see yourself as a blessed person. I'm just always blessed. Things just always work out for me. No matter what is going on in my reality, I always get what I want. That's a self-concept that you can start to develop for yourself. Remember, today we're talking about how to get what you want no matter what's going on. Do you see yourself in your self concept as a person that I don't give a damn what's going on in my world? I'm going to get what I want. And if you feel like, well, I can't get everything I want, then you need to check that. Even if you don't get everything you want, you should still be feeling like I can get whatever I want, though. It's no harm in saying I get what I want. Literally, is affirming I always get what I want. There's no harm in that. Even if you don't get everything you want, still just affirm that I get everything I want. Affirm that everything always works out for me, that there's no worst case scenario for me. It's only best case scenarios for me. Y'all don't even know, like, I don't even look like what I've been through. I know that's like a black thing that we say in the black community, but it's the truth. Like, I don't even look like what I've been through. I'm still going through things. I'm grieving my father. Like, my dad just passed away. I was not, my dad was in my life. I had a really great relationship with my father, and I'm grieving my father. Some days are better than others. I had a whole outburst earlier today. So people can choose how they use their emotions. You can choose. Life is not going to always be easy. However, you can make life beautiful even through the pain, even through the shitty circumstances. You get to do that. You don't have to sit here and just take it like, oh, I guess I just have a shitty life. No, that's not why you were put here. You weren't put here to have a shitty life. You were put here to have an amazing life. And you're a human going through, you're a spiritual being going through a human experience, but you're a human. You're going to have periods in your life that are temporary. I was tapping with Brad. For those of you who don't know, I'm an EFT practitioner. But one of my OGs that I go to, like, I could tap for myself, but I'm like, let me just go to Brad. And I was tapping us like for grief and or healing or grief or something like that. And he made this analogy when you're tapping that, like, sometimes on your way to healing or on your way to your manifestation or on your way to your destination, sometimes you may take a stop. You may stop at the gas station, to get some gas, or you may get a detour. But that does not negate the fact that you're still on your way to your destination. And as I'm tapping, I'm like, I see what you did there, Brad. Thank you, Brad. I see what you did there. You basically just made us who are tapping with you, and this is a technique that we do as EFT practitioners, it's to take your mind off of the pain in front of you and put it on a visual. And he did that so good. I was like, bravo, Brad. As soon as I was tapping, he's like, yeah, let's just say you're on your way to Las Vegas and you just so happen to stop off to get some gas somewhere. And somebody says, where are you going? And you say, I'm going to Las Vegas. Even though you're on your way to Las Vegas, you just so happen to just take a stop. You just made a little detour, you just made a little pit stop. It does not negate the fact that you're going to get to where you need to go. You just took a little detour. And so we do have detours in our life that we have to take. Things have to happen. We have to stop off and, re-up. Maybe you need to rest. Maybe you need to get a cup of coffee or something. But at the end of the day, it's so true that just because you're going through something in your life right now doesn't mean that you're not on your way to where you need to go and that you're not going to get there right when you need to be there. And sometimes for those of us, the detours are a lot longer than others. But I'm going to tell you something that I learned from Mr. Brad today is that the longer you focus on how am I going to get to where I'm going, it seems to be a long ride. When I used to drive from Miami to Tampa, because I went to college in Miami. I went to college in Miami, and I would drive home to Tampa. It's a 4-hour drive. And what I used to do is just put on my music, and it was a very short ride for me versus riding there in silence. So sometimes you can do things to distract yourself so that the time frame to get to your destination and get to your wish fulfilled doesn't feel like such a long time. I want you all to stay busy with your affirmations. Stay busy with listening to subliminals. Stay busy with listening to affirmation music. Stay busy with journaling and writing your story and having a manifestation journal. Stay busy with doing something that fills in that time frame that's in between where you are right now in your circumstances and where you know you're going to be in your wish fulfilled. And your wish fulfilled is in your imagination already happening. But while we're navigating that 3D reality, give yourself some stuff to do. Just keep busy. Instead of focusing on why it's not here, keep busy with things that help you to prepare yourself for when that wish fulfilled will be in your 3D reality. It collapses time when you're focusing on the things that you would be doing if you already had that thing. You know what I'm saying? Like if you had a brand new house, you would be right now you would be literally going online, putting together your mood board for decorating your home. You would not be sitting here worrying about when is my house going to be here. When you get a new car, what are you doing? You're going to AutoZone and you're making sure that you have things that you need. You're on Amazon getting your little steering wheel covers. You know, you're looking up little license plates to see if you want to decorate the outside. You're doing other things when you're preparing for stuff that you desire to have. Trust me. If you know your Amazon package is coming, you're not sitting here saying, "Okay, what's going on?" Okay, yeah, you got the tracking number, but you put the order in, so you already know it's coming. And if you have Amazon Prime, you know it's coming at least within 1 or 2 days. So why are we worrying about when is it coming here? Why are we? No, we're preparing for our package to be here. If you're ordering a package of hair products and nails and nail stuff and makeup and stuff like that, you're not saying, "Oh my goodness, it's not here yet. I don't know what's going to happen because if it doesn't come, then I'm not going to be able to." No, you're just like, "Okay, well, when it gets here, this is what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm getting this packet. Okay, this is my hair stuff, so I'm going to wash my." You're preparing for it. You're making plans for it because you already know that it's on the way. And I want you to do that with everything in your life. Prepare for it. I started a school community literally from scratch about 2 weeks ago. I had a goal to get 100 people. I think we at like 65 to 70 people now. But here's the thing, I already have plans for my school community. I have about 7 courses that I already have planned. The first course will be available tomorrow. And then I have a bunch of other stuff that I'm already starting to do ahead of whatever people join my school community. For the month of March, for my members, we have a whole list of stuff that we're going to be doing in March. I started planning that 2 weeks ago. I just started planning for it. And that's what I want you all to do. That's how you're going to be able to get your circumstances to be what you want them to be, no matter what. That's how you're going to be able to overcome any negative circumstances, no matter what. It's starting to project yourself into that wish fulfilled. Right. Neo Soul Healing 2391. I get everything I want 100%. And by the way, Neo Soul Healing has an amazing AI music channel. You might want to go check her out. Actually, no, you do want to go check her out. Her music is really great over there. All right, the last thing I want to do is I want to talk about, okay, normally I would read something from Neville, but I just want to read a little bit because it's something I've been doing for the last like 4 days. So this is from the chapter, and it has a lot to do with how to get things to go your way no matter what. Like no matter what's going on in your 3D circumstances. This book is called The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. It's all beat up because I read from this a lot. And it's one of the books we're going to be using for the month of March for finances, money, things of that nature. And we're also going to be using Florence Scovel Shinn and another money book that I have to decide. I haven't decided if we're going to do Think and Grow Rich or Amanda Francis, but I'm going to put another money book, like an actual money book. So this book right here, from chapter 17, is called All Things Are Possible. And I have a highlighted area here that I mean, this whole book is completely highlighted. So whenever something's highlighted, it's something that I probably wanted, to remember. So it says here, live, my glasses. So it says here, live your life in sublime spirit of confidence and determination. Disregard appearances, conditions, in fact, all evidence of your senses that deny the fulfillment of your desire. Rest in the assumption that you are already what you want to be. For in that determined assumption, you and your infinite being are merged in creativity and in unity. And with your infinite being, which is God, all things are possible. God never fails. It also says here, through the mastery of your assumptions, you are in the very truth that enables you to master life. It is thus that the ladder of life is ascended. The clue to the real purpose of life is to surrender yourself to your ideal self, which is such of awareness of the reality that you begin to live life of the ideal that you desire to have, and no longer your own life as it was prior to this surrender. So somebody explained it to me like this. You'll know that your life is different when things that used to trigger you, you respond to them differently. When you surrender to the fact that you are creating a new concept of self, when you are assuming a thing to be true in your life, even without evidence of seeing it, when you internally choose that something is true for you, when that thing shows back up that you don't like, when the negative circumstance shows up in your life, you'll respond differently. Case in point, you don't have enough money to pay your rent. And when you internally shift and decide that you are a person that has more than enough and the money is coming to you in droves, you have more than enough opportunities to have more than enough money, and you make that decision, you will know that you have changed. When you look at your bank account and still see a negative amount, and you don't respond the same way you would have responded as the old version of you. There's a certain way to respond to a negative circumstance that shows you that you've changed something about yourself. You cannot operate in the same version of yourself and expect different results. That is the textbook definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and over and then expecting a different result. You have to do something different. You have to make a new assumption. You have to tell a new story in order for you to receive in your 3D world a new circumstance. Okay? So, what he's saying here is live your life as if you already have it and ignore any evidence in your world that would negate what you desire to have. If it's not in alignment with what you desire to have, ignore it. Accept that you have negative circumstances and also accept that you can think about them differently, that you can perceive them differently. So ignore the feelings that come up. Or even I'll put it better because I don't want to tell you to ignore your feelings. Ignore the urge to respond to the negative circumstances the same way that you used to respond to them. Honor your feelings, but that urge that you would like complain or you'd be like, oh my goodness, I'm so sad about this. Check that and respond differently. That signals to your subconscious mind that we are operating in a different identity. When you shift your identity, the entire world around you in your 3D has to conform to that. Let me know if y'all understand what I'm saying, because I want to make sure that we're breaking down that, because Neville can be hard to understand sometimes. All right. What else is he saying? It also says here, each assumption has its corresponding world. If you are truly observant, you will notice the power of your assumptions to change circumstances which appear immutable. So if you're truly observant, what he's saying, you'll notice the power of your assumptions to change the circumstances which appear to be impossible to change. An assumption is something that you say over and over and over that is going to harden into a fact. You say it enough to where you start to believe it. It starts to become a part of your core identity. That's an assumption. If you assume that you're a dumb person, you're not smart, things don't ever work out for you, that is an assumption that you're making. You can very well assume that I'm a person who is capable of understanding things. I'm very capable of being a person who understands myself. I'm a person who's very smart in my own way. I have really great, insight. You can start to affirm and start to assume a different reality just based on you making that observation about yourself. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can make an observation about yourself and start calling yourself a smart person, even if people around you have called you names or you've been bullied. Or if you have a love story in your life that goes that I never meet the right person, I always date the same person. That's an assumption. Do not let people online tell you that you have an issue with meeting your significant other. There's no issue. You know how many there's millions of people, billions of people in this world, and you really think that you have an issue with meeting somebody? No. There's like so many people that you can meet right now that will be compatible for you. It's your own observation of what's wrong in your life. Why not just assume that you are right where you need to be to meet the exact person that's going to be compatible with you? No, despite what you've gone through in the past, you are right where you need to be. I'm right where I need to be to meet the person that's going to be compatible for me. All of my negative things that I've gone through in the past have prepared me to know what exactly I want. Why not perceive it that way? Why not make the assumption that you've actually been being prepared to know what you do want, so now you're more prepared for a relationship? Why not make that assumption? It's all your perception anyway, right? Let me see what y'all saying. Let me see what y'all saying here. And thank you all for being here. Make sure you're liking the video, okay? I don't ask so much. As a content creator, we need likes. If you feel like this video is helping you, you can share it with somebody. And if you really want to go deeper, you can always check out the description box and join my free SKOOL community to be with like-minded people. And thank you for the likes. I see somebody hearting the video. Okay, so that's how we're going to get the things that we desire to have, and that's how we're going to get the Most High, your higher power, infinite intelligence, the universe, whatever name you call your higher power, to align with you to get what you want, no matter what's going on in your reality. No matter what's going on, you're going to be able to get what you want by doing the things that I told you. Go back to the very beginning if you're just coming in, and you'll know that the first thing that I want you to do for sure is to start checking in with yourself throughout the day, checking your inner conversations, your self-concept, affirming for the things you do want. Stop messing with the middle. Don't worry about the details. Don't worry about what you have to do to get there. Just trust that you're on your way. And if you have a detour here and there, that's not going to stop you from getting your manifestation. You can literally have a negative month and still get what you want. There are plenty of people in this world that have negative thoughts that are billionaires. There are plenty of people in this world that have the love of their life and they're not good people, and they still have their SP, like you all like to manifest in this community. My husband and I did not meet for no reason. We were literally neighbors for 2 years, and I never saw this man a day in my life. in 2 years because I just was not on that frequency. I was not looking for what he had to offer. And I don't believe that if we had met those 2 years prior, that we would have even been in a relationship, because there had to be some time for both of us to grow out of whatever situations we were in and to grow and mature just spiritually. And that doesn't get talked about a lot in the law of assumption community. It's always make them obsessed with me, affirm that he's obsessed with me. And that is something that you can do if you want to. I'm not going to knock that. But for a deeper perspective, not everybody y'all are affirming for is supposed to be with you. And some of you all will be able to spin the block with a specific person coming back in your life when you have done the growing that is necessary for you to have a beautiful relationship with them. Some of you all are not with your significant others because it's just not conducive to what you desire to have. You desire to have a relationship that you're appreciated, that you're loved, that you're cherished. But if the other person is not there, then energetically you all are just not compatible at the moment. And you're going to have to live your life and keep going. And if it's going to come back around, then it needs to come back around in the right way. I have had clients in the past that it took them 6 months for them and their SP or their significant other to spin the block. And in that 6 months, a lot of growing had to happen. Some people 2-3 years, some people less than that. It really is no time frame on when your manifestations happen. They can happen overnight. They can happen within a week. But the time that you all are getting your manifestations happen a lot quicker when you are sure about your focus. When you're focused on the wish fulfilled more than not having it. It doesn't matter what it is. I just like to bring up the SP stuff during my lives because I can bring it up quickly and not have to do a video about it. Right? All right, well, we're coming up on, child, I said 30 minutes and it's an hour. Well, at least it's under an hour. I tried. I be trying to get out of here in 30 minutes, but what I have to say sometimes I have to break it down. All right, so you all have a beautiful day wherever you are. I appreciate you. I will be giving you all more meditations, more subliminals, more back to the core of like what I started with, because I've done a lot of the AI manifestation music on my channel, but I'm looking at the analytics and there are videos from a year ago that I've done that are meditations that are still getting a lot of views and people are still clicking on that. So what I'm thinking is that YouTube has me in the algorithm heavily for subliminals and meditations. And I want to honor the audience that originally started. So I'm going to do more of those. I'm still going to do the AI manifestation music, but I want to do some more, put more subliminals and meditations for you all as well. Okay, so thank you all. Thank you, Neil Soul Healing. Thank you, Grateful Gray. Thank you, Shetta Goddess. And who else is here? Those are the people that I see that there are 20 people watching. Look, I ain't gonna say this every time. It's no harm in saying hello. Just get in the habit of saying, that's all the energy I want from y'all, just to say hello. You don't even have to interact in the chat so much so as when you come into the room, just say hello. Hey, Danny. You know, me as a content creator, I do this for love. I don't really do it, because I have to. It's really me having a YouTube channel is a labor of love. I make plenty of money outside of social media to where I wouldn't even have to be on social media. I do this literally because I love to and I want to help. So the only energy that I would love to have back, and it really helps to fuel me, it helps to keep me fortified, is to saying hello and interacting and just, making sure that we're both getting something out of this situation. Okay. All right. You all have a beautiful day wherever you are. I will see you in the next video. Bye.